YouTube! Did you know that 1 year ago I published a book? Wow! I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. Anyways, let's bake a cake. Hey, so you're probably wondering why I have all of these super cute ingredients out in front of me. It all started 2 years ago when I published a YouTube video called I Wrote a Book When I Was 13, It Sucked. In that video, I reflected on a book I started writing at the age of 10 and published in 7th grade. And a lot has changed since I posted that video. First off, I unpublished this piece of trash. And second of all, I published this book, Leaving Wishville, which came out February 8th of 2020. In honor of Leaving Wishville's book birthday, I've decided to bake a chocolate cake and answer some questions that I've received on YouTube and Instagram. I answered a few of them at the store. So here's my friend Joy and I at the store a couple of days ago, shopping for these ingredients.
Hi. What category is Leaving Wishville in?
Young adult magical realism.
Will there be an audiobook?
Maybe someday.
How long was the process of Leaving Wishville versus your new book?
Leaving Wishville took 28 months and Capsule will take a total of 14 months.
What is the genre of Capsule?
Sci-fi thriller, just for a snack. Okay, so for context, for those of you who don't know, Capsule is the new book that I'm working on and it will be published on July 10th of 2021. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, that means that you probably missed the cover reveal. So here it is. This is the cover of my next book and I'm super excited for you guys to read it. It is a sci-fi thriller. But anyways, enough about Capsule. Let's bake a cake. Okay, we are starting off with 2 cups of flour. Was your writing process different for Capsule than it was for Leaving Wishville? I would say that it was about the same. I would say that it has been a lot faster for Capsule though. Oops, what unrealistic daydream have you had about what would happen after publishing Leaving Wishville? I would say just the common dream of blowing up and getting a ton of press without putting any work into marketing. What happens after draft 1? Usually I take a break for a bit after I write the first draft. And then after that, it's just a constant state of rereading, making comments, revisions, rereading, making comments, revisions, you know. And how do you handle the beta reading process? I have all of my beta readers in the same document. And then at the very end, I have a link to a Google survey that they fill out, just with general questions of the story as a whole. Which character from either of your books do you relate the most to and why? That's actually very hard. I think I have to pick one character from each book or I would just go crazy. So from Leaving Wishville, I would say James Coy, because he struggles with being present. He's kind of always stuck in his own head. And for Capsule, I would say Jackie Mendoza. I just relate to a lot of her antisocial tendencies. How do I open this? Is that how you open this? What inspired you to write Leaving Wishville? I think I talked about this before, but Leaving Wishville's plot relies heavily on the setting. I was inspired for the setting by the weather here in Northern California. The overcast mornings, the fog, the very violent waves. What's your favorite part of the writing process? Beta reading, 100%. After publishing Leaving Wishville, did any authors you looked up to read your book? I did get a testimonial from Abby Emmons actually, and I love her YouTube channel, so that was really cool. Have you always lived in California? Would you move to a different state? Arkansas is pretty. Yeah, I'm open to moving to a variety of places. And I have lived in California my whole life. Who inspired Leaving Wishville's characters? Honestly, I don't really know where my characters come from, except for Jet in Leaving Wishville. That's the only person I've actually based on a real person. Very nice. I also just found out that I'm supposed to be doing this with a mixer. But I do not have a mixer. Just kidding, I do. I'm just too lazy to get it out. How do you come up with story ideas? It's mostly random, to be honest. How important is marketing for publishing a book? I would say marketing is everything, like 95%, and I'm still learning. Which novel was more of a challenge to write? I would say Leaving Wishville was a lot harder to write than Capsule, just because I was less experienced. What was your inspiration for Capsule? Let's take 3 completely different people and force them to go on a journey together. What would you say is your favorite genre to write? Honestly, Capsule was so much fun, so I might have to say like sci-fi and thriller. How did you know when Leaving Wishville was complete and ready for publication? I don't think anyone is ever fully satisfied with their creative work. Take John Green, for example, super famous author. He mentioned in one of his YouTube videos that after he publishes his books, he never rereads them because he always sees changes that he'd like to make to improve the story even more. I think at some point you just have to make a conscious decision and think, you know what, this is good enough. And I remember feeling that way at some point along the editing process. What were some alternative titles you thought of for leaving Wishville? Finally, someone asked the question. When I started writing Leaving Wishville, I had no idea what the title was going to be, so I had some very interesting choices. So first was Leaving Wishville, The Missing Piece, and The Final Piece, very similar. Then I had Wishville, just Wishville, no leaving. And then the final one was May 23rd. If not Capsule, what other name would you have named it? Absolutely no other name. Before I even started coming up with the story, I was thinking, you know what would be really cool? A book with a capsule on it, and it's called Capsule. Like, I had the title and the cover concept design before I even started writing the story. Why did you choose to name your main character Benji in Leaving Wishville? My friend Angie knows this, but I've always been obsessed with the name Benji. For no specific reason, okay? I just really like that name. How do you think your characters would celebrate Leaving Wishville's birthday? I think Benji, Sam, Chloe, and James would get together and eat stale potato chips and blueberry. And if you know what I mean, then that means that you've read my book. How many drafts did Leaving Wishville take? I think it was 12 or 13, but everyone considers a draft something different. Where can I buy it? You can buy Leaving Wishville online at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, pretty much any online book retailer. Start using a whisk. Start using a spatula. Do you like my Santa spatula? Ignore the water, it's going to be boiling in the background, by the way. When is the film coming out? So this is a reference to the Leaving Wishville short film adaptation that Sebastian directed. I filmed a behind-the-scenes video for it a while back. It was supposed to come out in January and has since been delayed. I'll share an update when I have one. What does a typical day in your life look like? Wake up, coffee, write or edit, work on business stuff online, scroll on my phone, go to sleep. Any hobbies you really like? Making YouTube videos, obviously. I also like rollerblading, although I suck at it. Guitar and photography. And drinking lattes. If you count that. Oops. This looks really gross. Oh, that's weird. What type of beverage is best to drink while reading Leaving Wishville? Definitely coffee. The fact that you're part Filipino is very interesting. Have you ever felt conflicted with your identity and nationality? No need to respond if this is too personal. Yeah, I have. Especially in middle school, I was kind of frustrated because of the fact that I looked kind of ethnically ambiguous and nobody could really guess that I was half Filipino or even just half Asian in general. Yeah, that kind of bothered me at times, but I'm over it now. Why did you choose to move to Spain? So I mentioned it in one of my videos, but I'm moving to Spain near the end of the year in November-ish. So I actually chose Spain because it's financially a really good place for teaching English, which is what I'm planning to do. How do you choose songs for a book's playlist? Is it the lyrics or just the song's tone and vibe? So I make a Spotify playlist for all of my books. It has to have both of those things. It has to fit the vibe, but the lyrics also have to somewhat make sense. How do you overcome post-publication depression? So this term describes the feeling you get when you finish a really big creative project. You're kind of just feeling unmotivated and not ready to start something new. I would say the main things that helped me get over it were just time and putting in the effort to try to get myself excited about a new project, which for me was Capsule. And last question, tell us about your reading habit. How many books do you read per month and how do you annotate? I actually don't read much. And when I do read, it's mostly nonfiction, so business and self-help genres. I don't read much fiction at all. Hold on, I'm gonna start pouring these. One of the most common pieces of advice for writers to improve their writing is to read more. And I honestly don't think that's true. I think the best thing you can do is write. Writers, I feel, from just what I've observed in my experience in the past, have a tendency to compare their work to the work of other writers. And when you have something like art, it's very subjective. In some ways, it's good to completely isolate yourself from other pieces of art so that it doesn't end up influencing yours. Like, I appreciate other people's work and I enjoy it. I still like reading fiction once in a while, but it's never to the point where I'm feeling insecure about my writing. And I honestly credit that to not reading too much and not giving myself the opportunity to doubt my own abilities. But when it does come to nonfiction, how I annotate, I keep it really simple. I literally just use a pencil and I underline things, I put stars by stuff, and it's not the most efficient, but can't be great at everything. We have our cake. I'm scared. I would tilt it to show you, but can you see it? Ooh, it's like merging to the side now. I will go put these in the oven, melt this butter, and come back to make the frosting, and we'll just chat. It'll be fun. Be right back. So, both of the little cake things are now in the oven, and I melted the butter. I don't know why. I love the smell of melted butter. Don't judge me. And it's so foamy. Anyways, I'm making like a chocolate buttercream frosting or something. I feel like this is a good time to bring up some really, really big news about Capsule. Once again, if you've been following my channel and my Instagram closely, then you probably know that I've been filming a book trailer for Capsule, and it was a lot more work than I thought, but I'm super excited with how it's turned out. And I'm releasing it on February 19th, so it's coming up pretty soon here. I know I've been technically YouTubing for over 2 years now, but honestly I didn't start putting in much effort until recently, and my channel has grown a lot just in the past few days. Thank you all for being here, and welcome newcomers. Once in a while, I feel like it's fine if I have a low quality, kind of worthless video like this one. Not that it's worthless, I mean I answered questions and stuff, but it's just not, it's very anticlimactic. Anticlimactic. Climatic? I don't know. It's very anti-exciting. That sounded really stupid. Long story short though, I'm kind of a nerd and I just like making content about things that interest me and trying new things. I have some challenge videos coming up at some point. They do take a while to film. Like my Murakami video took way too long. Happy birthday to leaving WISHVILLE. I can't believe it's been a year. So much has happened in the past year, like so much. The amount of just emails and DMs and YouTube comments of people who have read my book and seem to genuinely enjoy it just honestly means the world to me. There's nothing that I like more than being able to create something that makes someone actually entertained and engages them. That's like the biggest honor to me. And I think that's why I do YouTube too. How can I make something that people will genuinely enjoy watching? And it's really hard, but I'm starting to get the hang of it, hopefully. Watch this get like three views. Is frosting supposed to be really lumpy? I almost forgot, but I have a newsletter now. Go check it out in the description below. You'll see a little thing called book club. Click that link, sign up, and you're good to go. That's where I'll be sending all of my book updates so you can stay updated on Capsule's release this summer. My arm is actually slowly dying now. I've been mixing so much. I didn't know this was how you made buttercream. I didn't know it was literally just butter with cocoa powder and some milk. And obviously sugar. So I kind of made a mistake. I always do this. I always take it out of the pan before it's fully dry, so then it falls apart. So I kind of put it back together like a jigsaw puzzle, and I think it works. I think I just plop that onto the top. I'm also putting icing on a cake using a fork, so it's probably not the most efficient way to do so. I was talking to someone about how funny it is that I have a YouTube channel with over 5,000 subscribers now. And when you think about it, that's bigger than my school. And pretty much no one at my school during high school knew who I was. It looks real gross. This is getting really boring, so I'm just going to finish frosting this and then I will check in with you after this is done. So, I did not stack the cakes, so I have 2 short cakes now. This one I added sprinkles to. In theory, it was supposed to make it look better, but I feel like it just looks weird. I don't know. Gonna be honest, they don't look too appetizing, but hopefully they taste better than they look. This past year with leaving WISHVILLE's publication has been quite the journey, and I'm so excited for you guys to read Capsule, and I will see you in the next video, which is the book trailer for Capsule, and it is coming out this Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, so please be there if it works for your time zone and schedule. It'd be awesome to watch it at the same exact time. Thank you for being here, and I will see you then. Bye!